cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I'm here with my co-host, Giant Skyhawk.
That's me. I'm large, in charge, can fly some places, and can't fly others.
That's a new one. I like that one. Well, of course, before we get too far in, we want to thank all of our wonderful, wonderful sponsors. So, of course, a huge thank you to Steelfox Games up in Shreveport, Louisiana, as well as, of course, we want to thank ATB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana, and we also want to thank, of course, Gem Accessories for their sponsorship of the podcast. And if you are interested in getting yourself any Dragon Shield sleeves or accessories, be sure to check out Dragon Shield. We have an affiliate link in the description down below. They are going to be doing they've been doing custom standard size sleeves for a while. They're about to start doing custom Japanese size sleeves as well.
I can confirm that those are actually already available. You can.
Oh, so they're publicly available now?
They are publicly available now.
Sick. So be sure to check out Dragon Shield if you want to do custom Japanese size sleeves. You can do some really cool stuff. I am going to be ordering some here in the next couple of days. I haven't really totally settled on what design I want, but I have some friends that have already done it and they look really good.
I think you all need to, if you go to the Top Cut Podcast Twitter, there are a couple of sleeve designs. I think that you posted last week. I think people should give their feedback on those.
Yeah. So be sure to check those out. And of course, we do have a TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below if you're still shopping at TCG Player for some reason, even though they're union busting. So, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But if you are, there is a link. And, may as well take some money from them if they're going to be doing that, So,
absolutely.
So with that said, of course, let's go ahead and get on into today's episode. So I want to start the episode today by talking about some I'm just going to give life updates. I've had a heck of a week. So generally go ahead.
It is amazing here. I was just going to say that's an understatement just based on the conversations I've had with you over the last chunk of time in the middle of the day.
It's obscene, really. Okay, so for some context, last week in North Louisiana, we had some brutal storms come through. Really, they were pretty bad, and they really did a lot of damage. Last Friday, so a week ago as of this release, there's 125,000 people just in the city north of me that had no power. My area was 7,000 people without power. The areas in between were anywhere from 10 to 20,000 people per area. It was bad. There was probably close to 200,000 people total without power just in Louisiana. So the storms came through, and as a result, that Friday at my work, again, I work at UPS. For those that don't know, I'm a UPS driver. That Friday, we had no power at all. We had no way to sort the packages and things like that. None of our conveyor belts were working. And it's so many boxes that you can't really just move them all by hand. There was a time when we just had rollers and the drivers just pushed them down the rollers by hand and hand sorted everything in the mornings. But that wasn't really a thing that we could do last Friday just because the volume is so high now that you can't really do that anymore. It would take hours and hours. We don't have rollers. We have a conveyor belt, so you'd have to forcibly push them down by hand. It's not like they just gently roll along. So it wasn't really feasible for us to run everything, but we could run the critical stuff. So we ran maybe 10% or 5% of our volume on Friday, just critical stuff that had to be delivered. And I got off at 11:30. It was great. I never get early days. I don't have early days at work. They don't exist. Well, naturally, come this week, all that volume from Friday had to be delivered. So Monday we ran I don't know. It was an extra 60 or 70% volume on Monday. And I actually got off at a good time. I got off at 7:30, 8 o'clock on Monday, which is honestly pretty typical. Then on Tuesday, it really hit the fan. It was bad. And we had a bunch of people called in. And in our building, 6 call-ins is the end of the world. So on top of all the volume, and everybody was so overloaded that like I had like 150 deliveries and like 250 miles, which is a lot. Like normally 150 deliveries, you get like 50 miles. You know, normally 250 miles, you have like 65 stops. So it was a lot. My last projected stop Tuesday was 12:15 or 12:08 a.m. the next day. So, yeah. Thankfully, they had mercy on us, and at like 10 o'clock, they just said, "Hey, everybody, come back to the building. You're done." So they wanted us all off the clock under 12 hours, which woo. It's actually 13 hours on road because we have a 1 hour unpaid lunch.
I'm gonna be real. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And I may or may not have been holding up a copy of Remote YCS promo Amabi while I was saying that.
Yeah.
I just gotta toss that in.
Yeah. So then yesterday, which is Wednesday, it was another like got off at 10 o'clock, 10:30, but at least the volume's caught up now, right? Like we've caught up on volume, so like Thursday is just another day. And then today, I was in a pretty good mood. I had a pretty decent day. Found a misload on my truck, so at the end of my day, I had to go deliver a package from another route that was put on my truck by mistake by somebody else. So, not even something I had any control over. Even though I went through my car looking for misloads, it was hidden in a bag. So, like, which we don't go through because the bags are pre-sorted, whatever. So I have to go deliver that. Adds 30 minutes to my day. So I get off at 8:30, 8:40 again tonight, which is pretty good. But then today, I stepped off of a customer's porch and there was a giant red wasp nest under the top step of their porch. So now my ankle is like swollen and burning. And the heat index has been 105 to 110 all week. So it's like really hot. And
Dang.
I'm just, like it's like 42 degrees Celsius for the non-Americans. So it's been hot and it's been miserable and I'm tired.
Yeah, I too also had a very difficult day today. I had some emails to respond to. And,
oh man, I can relate.
I'm kidding. That's brutal, dude. Such an unreal like.
Yeah, the workload at UPS is obscene.
Better.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
the
union negotiation helps.
Yeah. My biggest issue with UPS is that they expect perfection all the time in what are chaotic circumstances, to say the least. So it's like it's never a normal day, but no matter what kind of a day it is, it's like perfection regardless is what's expected. And I understand why. It's like it's a dangerous job. It is like you can get overheated, you can get hurt, you can fall, you can, you can strain, pull, and tear muscles picking up heavy packages. I mean, I delivered 4 generators in the last 2 days. I've delivered multiple air conditioner units, I've pressure washers, all in the last like 3 days. It's a lot of hard, grueling work in hot weather. But the pay is really good. So, But as far as you were saying with the union negotiations, it's crazy because yesterday the union gave the company its economic proposals, and today the company countered, and the counter offer was so egregious that the union stepped away from the table entirely and said, "We're not coming back until you give us a real and respectable offer."
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm in.
So we have 38 days to get a contract worked out. If not, we're going on strike.
It sounds like the union's been doing a bang-up job. I don't know the details, but I am super interested to see where that goes. I hope y'all get a good deal.
Yeah, me too. So now that I've done my I had a bad week soapbox, which is why I also normally we record on Wednesdays. Today we're doing it on Thursday, hoping to be done in time for Skyhawk spot on the subathon.
Yeah, y'all are. By the time this comes out, it'll be over. But if you want to go check the VOD, I will have done, or will be doing / will have done, 30-minute kind of a mini concert, playing some Yu-Gi-Oh songs and some anime songs, some acoustic arrangements, including I've set up my own acoustic arrangement of Kashtira, the King Scarlet track. So that's gonna be fun. And then
I'm just gonna say, you should definitely be taking that part of the VOD and uploading it to either our channel or your own channel. I'm just gonna say.
I'll see if I can get permission to do that. The other thing is I'll have Luna and Celeste on, Caitlin, as you know, for afterwards for some wiki format. So have I explained wiki format to you yet?
No, you haven't. This is the first time hearing of this.
This is a fun one. We will definitely have to do it at some point. I feel like this could be a funny channel.
I might hop in tonight. I don't know.
Yeah. It's well. I mean, if you're not gonna die, then absolutely. But you have to work.
I can multitask. Yeah? I can do this and die. I can multitask.
Okay, so wiki format. It's not my idea. Pro FP in the MBT Discord is the one who came up with it for the last subathon. So you pick an archetype. And you go to the Wikipedia page for that archetype. You build a deck. You are only allowed to play cards that are listed in the recommended cards section. All of the wiki pages have like a recommended cards section for the decks. Some of them are very standard, and some of them are very funny and include like some absolutely ridiculous cards. So you're only allowed to play cards in your deck that are listed in the recommended cards section. You can do anything else you want. So it's like
you can't do actual archetypal cards. You can just do the ones in the section.
Just the ones that are in the recommended section. So there are some recommended sections that don't have cards in the deck, either because they haven't been updated for new support because some of the articles are old, or because like for some reason the people who wrote them just didn't want to play the cards. So there's like I think the first one I did was TG, and there were a couple of like generic cards and a couple of very stupid cards in there. Like I think the TG deck was allowed to play pre-mat. Because it was on the list. But anyway, that's wiki format in case anybody wants to give that a whirl.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds like a blast. Personally, I already have a couple of archetypes in mind that I think would have crazy suggested. So, wait, well, you know what would make it better? If you had to spin an archetype wheel.
I think that would be ideal, is if you had to spin the wheel and get it, just so you couldn't pick something that was strong. Like I think that would be funny.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it like this. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. A full Tenyi deck would be broken, and if you do Sword Soul, I bet you can just do a full Tenyi deck.
Yeah, it probably. I imagine the Tenyis are probably under Sword Soul for recommended. So
and the Yang Zings.
I actually don't know. I wonder. Let me see. Hold on.
I mean, like Tenyi Boxia Control would honestly probably just be like a crazy deck.
Yeah, that's actually true. I'm gonna go to the Sword Soul Wikipedia page right now.
I'm on it right now.
Recommended cards.
I'm on it right now.
Ashina Vishida, so Nidhogg, Generator Boss of Ice, and Giant Pearfish are in the legal monster cards for this deck.
So wait, in the recommended cards, they have Moyi and Taya and Longyan. Yeah.
Yes, they do. So you can
wait a minute.
Yeah.
They only have Ashuna and Vishuda. They don't have
and Adhara is there. Actually, it's under Tuner Monsters.
Oh, I see Adhara now. It's under Tuners.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this you could basically play this deck full power, but you would have to play only the cards listed here. So you can't play any hand traps. You can't play.
You can't play Monk.
Yeah, no Monk. It's not. So, Monk is not in the extra deck. Only Shaman is. So you can't play Monk.
What?
Yeah, this is why the format is fun.
You can't play it without Monk.
Well, you're gonna have to try, and that's why this format is fun, because there's like almost always something key that's missing, and you have to
Lulu while Lilith is there though.
Like, for example, Waterfall of Dragon Souls, a decent generic trap card, and it's basically the only generic card you can play. Like you're probably actually thinking about putting a copy of Giant Pearfish in the deck just to fill out space. And like that's why this format is so good.
That's insane, to be honest with you. You're playing multiple Sacred Summits in this.
I bet. Yes, exactly. That's why, like, distilling it down to that kind of fun crap. This is all I got is very funny. But anyway,
Anyway, yeah, okay.
We have some Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
news
anyway,
to talk
by the
about.
way, I guarantee MBT Subathon is still going. If you have Amazon Prime, you can go to MBT Subathon and add time onto his timer for free using your Amazon Prime video subscription on Twitch. It's literally free.
You're really okay. All right. Trying to see if there are any Oilers listening in. Listening
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the
If there
pod.
are any Oilers, use our TCG Player affiliate link and spend a boatload of money, and then go to his subathon.
Literally.
So, go check out our Patreon, which I forgot to shout out when I was doing sponsors. But shout out to our patrons.
True. Shout out to all of them.
Okay, well, we've burnt through like almost 20 minutes, like really fast.
We're at.
We have a ton to cover.
We're at about 16. What do we want to do first? Just the quick stuff from.
I'm gonna. I tell you what. I'll pick one. You pick one. I'll pick one. We'll go like that. Okay.
Okay. I assume we're saving the biggest one for last. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I want to talk about Age of Overlord. So I think this is the quickest, easiest one to do. Age of Overlord is the beginning of the newest series within Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is the end of the Sevens era and the beginning of whatever they're going to call this era, which doesn't have a name because it also doesn't have an anime or a manga. So Age of Overlord is basically the beginning of the next big part of Yu-Gi-Oh! There is going to be some Supreme King Zark support in this, which we've talked about. We have more Visa Starfrost cards and stuff coming out, more Manadium cards coming out. A lot of the cards we've been reading off over the last couple of weeks have been from Age of Overlord, so you can expect to see a lot of those on that in that set. But as far as the actual set release date, you are going to be looking at October 20th of 2023, which is, in my opinion, a little bit later than most. I think most of these premiere sets come out in August, because I want to say that Generation Force was in August. I want to say that I know that Duelist Alliance was in August. What was the set for Synchros with Stardust Dragon? Duelist Genesis, I want to say it was in August. Yeah. So it's a little bit later than usual, but I think that's fine because realistically there's no like master rule changes coming with it that we know of. So
true. That would be quite something. I'm curious. There's lots of cool cards in there.
But I don't really think there's too much else to cover here other than we are getting this core set in the TCG. Who would have thunk it?
Wow. Okay. So, I guess next up we'll go with the last card in the Jack Atlas structure deck, at least the new one.
Sure.
The last spell. Brought to you by Unleash. So this card's name is Crimson Gaia. It's a continuous spell. You can only use It is a cool name. You can only use each of the 3 effects once per turn. Funny enough, if it actually like translates to Gaia, there are probably some Gaia cards that can search this, which would be very funny. 1. During your main phase, you can add 1 Ren Dragon Archfiend or 1 card that mentions it except Crimson Gaia from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Automatically.
It's 10 key, but better.
It's 10 key with upside. Amazing. 2. When your Red Dragon Archfiend declares an attack, you can change all monsters your opponent controls to face down defense position. I love Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. 3. If a monster or monsters on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Red Dragon Archfiend from your graveyard. This card is really good. Like Rhoda, or 10 key, that also can like swap a bunch of stuff face down when you attack, which is like fine, I guess. But like if anything on the field is destroyed, you can bring back Red Dragon Archfiend, and that includes cards who are like treated as Red Dragon Archfiend in the graveyard. Like this seems really good.
Yeah, no, the card is actually ridiculously broken within Archetype, and these kinds of cards are the cards that are like so powerful that they become like a generic inclusion within certain strategies. So if you ever see something like Red Dragon Archfiend splashable for some reason, like these are the kinds of cards that make it splashable because it's so generically powerful.
I think it was intentional that this was the last reveal too. Like if you look at the Crystal Beast structure deck, the best card in that deck is Rainbow Bridge of the Heart.
Which is the last card.
Also a continuous spell. It was the last card that got revealed, and it was the thing that kind of tied the whole deck together. This feels like something that is tying the deck together.
Yep,
I don't know.
sure.
Food for thought.
So, let's go ahead. I'll pick the next one. I guess we'll finish off all the new cards, and we'll talk about the remaining fall 2023 promos.
We got promos.
We got the announcement of another Synchro promo, the very next one, but
it was the Briannac retrain. We do not have the effect for that yet.
Exactly, that's what it was. We don't have the effect for it, so that's why we didn't really bring it up. So we don't have images for these two V-Jump promos, but we do have names. We got
text.
Yeah, we have all the names. We have the typing. We have the levels and stats and effects. We just don't have pictures, which you could probably find like more or less what the pictures are going to look like based off of what they were in the manga. But for now, this is what we have. So the first card is Junk Dragonlet, which is an adorable name. Earth Machine, Effect Monster, 2,500 attack, 1,800 defense, level 5. You can only special summon with the way, and this card's name's effect once per turn. So that'll probably translate differently to like you can only special summon this card by its own effect once per turn or something. Yeah. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. 1, if you control a synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's broken.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. 2, when a synchro monster you control declares an attack, you can banish this card from your graveyard. That attacking monster gains 800 attack until the end of this turn. This card feels like an absolute must include in like Synchron decks, maybe even Speedroid, various like synchro-centric strategies where they're just trying to synchro climb for free. This card feels like an automatic inclusion.
The fact that it's a junk card is nice. The fact I love, again, one of those cards that's like it has great utility going first, but also has additional utility going second in that it brings itself back for extra damage and an attack boost.
Yeah.
Being a junk card probably is relevant, actually, for like a couple random cards in the Synchron deck. So I don't know if you play this for sure, but it reads like it's pretty good. Like a free 5 is something that's kind of rare in the game.
Yeah.
So I think just for levels, it might even be worth it. But curious to see where that runs out. We do have a second card that is a little weird. So it's Burgundy the Magic Elf, Dark Spellcaster effect. It's a level 4, 1,600 attack, 1,400 defense. Each effect once per turn. 1, if a card or cards is discarded from your opponent's hand by a card effect, while this card is in the monster zone, you can inflict 400 damage to your opponent for each discarded card. And 2, when this card is destroyed by battle instant to the graveyard, you can discard one random card from your opponent's hand. I don't think this is very good. I don't know what you're doing with this.
It's a very, very, very Dark World specific side deck card, but it's bad regardless.
Yeah, so we're gonna normal summon this in time. Like what?
Yeah.
Really? There gotta be better ways.
All right, you get the next thing.
Okay. I think that's most of the small stuff.
Yeah, it for sure.
Let's do the 2-player starter set, and then we have the other 2 topics, I think. So
okay,
this
sure.
Is a new
I think
set.
The other 2 topics are a lot more, sure.
Probably bigger, yeah. So this is a new product that we are getting October 27th, 2023 in TCG. So this set contains, I guess I'll read what it is first. So, learn to duel with the new Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG 2-player starter set. The new starter set is the perfect way for any new duelist to learn the ropes with a friend, their family, or all by themselves. Use 2 different decks to go head-to-head. The starter set 64-page comic book walks you through a scripted, not randomized, duel to teach Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG basics from the beginning. From your first card draw through summons and battles to the extra decks, Synchro and Xyz monsters. After completing the teaching duel, the decks can be reassembled to go through it again, or used as a standard and complete dueling decks to launch your journey into the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG universe. Each 2-player starter set includes 2 different 44-card decks, with 2 40-card main decks and 2 4-card extra decks. So it's 80 commons and 8 ultra rares, which I imagine are probably the extra deck cards. And then,
I would think.
And then a 64-page teaching comic book. This is, I mean, I'm going to, I saw somebody post and I agree. I'm going to reserve judgment until we actually know what the cards are. However, this is awesome. We just have not had this ever. And having something that we can use to like introduce people, I think is very cool.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that I think we're going to have to both look for from this structure deck or starter. It's not a structure, it's a starter deck. there's a couple of things we're going to have to look for out of this starter deck for it to be relevant, as well as understand what it is.
Yep.
Starter decks are not structure decks. These decks are not built to be competitive out of the box. They are built to demonstrate the game's rules, demonstrate a basic understanding of how various mechanics within the game work, and slowly over time, a person can be expected to go from this to playing real Yu-Gi-Oh! Because while it is real, we all know, like, even with a 64-page teaching comic book, this is not going to give a full representation of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience, and we know that, right?
Yep, that is true.
Now, I think there are a couple of things, though, that they need to have present within this starter deck for it to really accomplish the things that it needs to do. So, I think that there needs to be there needs to be both non-effect monsters and effect monsters. There will be vanillas in this structure deck. Starter. Oh, I'm so used to saying structure. There will be vanillas within this starter deck. There also need to be effect monsters that represent a range of different effects that you would see within a typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. I think that there needs to be effects that target. I think there need to be effects that don't target if possible. And I really think that there needs to be some representation of hand traps within this deck. Because to really teach somebody about Yu-Gi-Oh! And the things that happen within Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'll say right now, somebody needs to understand the concept of hand traps and why they are important and how they are used. Because the concept of looking at a monster card and saying, all right, this is a monster card, it has an effect, monster effects can be activated while they're on the field. Versus having a hand trap and saying, but this one activates when it's in your hand. Yep. I think that that's a really important distinction to make, and it's something that confuses new players, is the different ways that you can activate monster effects. And I hope that they pick cards that are really good for this, because there are ways to do it. So
yeah, I'm hoping that the comic as well is a way to guide those explanations, because previously, like, starter decks just have not had like the rule books are kind of obtuse, right? And they're not actually very representative of what happens in the game. I think this is a great opportunity to rectify that. So I'm curious to see what it is.
This could be the lowest barrier to entry thing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ever had.
Absolutely true.
And the one last thing, I know you're trying to say something. One very last thing that I want to say is there also needs to be representation of field spells, continuous spells, quick play spells, regular spells, and honestly, possibly even ritual spells. And also with trap cards, you need normal, continuous, and counter traps.
Yep. Super speedy comment here on the Master Duel Forbidden and Limited list. It's terrible. It's awful. It's very cynically bad. It hits decks that are not tier limit worse than it hits tier limit. It's very stupid. The tier hit is Sulliok to 1. The other hits are M-Pen to 1, Eradicator to 1, Branded Fusion to 2, Sprite Jet to 2, Swap Frog to 2, and Metaverse to 3. Most of these don't do anything, but the hits to those decks are harsher than the best deck in the format, which is tier. That is my Master Duel update.
It's a dog water list for a dog water game.
List bad.
All right, so we've covered all of the small stuff. Now, there's one really big product announcement to unpack here, and I'm sure you all already know what it is. It's the 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection. This is a huge product announcement with a lot of little caveats, and we're going to spend the better part of the back half of the episode talking about this, and we have another little topic we're going to talk about too, but I really wanted to go in depth with this particular topic and give it the discussion that I think it deserves, because this is a monumental product release. So we have a new set called the 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection. This is containing 79 cards, which is a very specific number that we'll talk about later once I'm done reading. The release date is November 3rd, 2023. And here's the full blurb. I'm just going to go through the whole thing. Obtain 2 new card technologies with the 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection. Coming this November, you can finally get your hands on 2 new card technologies that have only been available overseas until now. The 25th Anniversary Rarity Collection is a spectacular all-foil set with 79 of the game's most popular cards, each available. All of them are available in 7 different rarities, including 2 brand new rarities. So the rarities are super rares, ultra rares, secret rares, okay, quarter century secret rares celebrating the 25th anniversary. So these are very similar to Starlights, but they have a little 25th stamp on them. Platinum secret rares, which haven't been seen since the 2015 Megaton. And Skyhawk, pop quiz, do you know what 2 cards are the only 2 cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG currently that have platinum rare things?
I think I do, actually. It is Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon and Bujinte Susanoo.
I really thought that there was a Fire Fist card. I don't think it's Dark Rebellion Xyz. I think it's Fire Brotherhood of the Fire Fist.
Is it
Tiger King.
Does Tiger King have one? That might be Tiger King.
I think it's Tiger King. I don't think it's Dark Rebellion Xyz.
I know for a fact one of them is Susanoo.
The other one is Susanoo, for sure. I always thought it was Susanoo, but it might be Susanoo. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Platinum Secret Rares are coming back, unfortunately. And we also have new prismatic style collector's rares. Made with extra sparkle, this is the same. This is their words, not mine. This is the same as the Japanese collector's rare technology previously available only in Asia. So only in the OCG.
I am so excited for these. They're
amazing.
You do not understand how good these look.
If you want to see how good these look, you can actually go to the Crush Cards Twitter because they have some and they posted like video of them like moving them. They're amazing. New prismatic style ultra rares with a raised 3D varnish effect. This is the same as the Japanese ultimate rare technology previously available only in Asia. Again, only in the OCG. I'm going to say the Japanese ultis are hit or miss. Some of them are amazing and some of them are cool, but not amazing. The collector's rares are pretty much the same, but I think I think a lot more of the collectors are hits than misses. So I'm really excited for these.
Completely agree.
Watch as your cards sparkle, shine, and gleam in rarities so luxurious that you will be the envy of every duelist. Go into your next tournament well prepared with competitive mainstays that can go in any deck, like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Nibiru the Primal Being, Effect Veiler, and Infinite Impermanence. Unlock the full potential of your extra deck with game-defining cards like Baron de Fleur and Borreload Savage Dragon. And fans of the anime will finally get another chance at obtaining the Egyptian God Slime. And you can add some of the best spell cards in the game to your collection and your deck. Cards you won't want to miss out on like Pot of Prosperity, Triple Tactics Talent, and Forbidden Droplet. And in a special twist, the structure of these packs is like nothing you've seen before, as each pack has a chance to have 1, 2, sometimes, or even 3, whoa, jackpot, of the new luxury rare technologies. Each pack will contain 2 super rares, 1 secret rare with a 1 in 4 chance of being upgraded to platinum secret or quarter century secret rare, and 2 ultra rares, each of which has an individual 1 in 6 chance of being upgraded to the new prismatic style collector's rare or new prismatic style ultra rare. And with every card available in every rarity, you can collect matching copies or mix and match the rarities of your favorite cards.
I'm just grinning ear to ear listening to this.
Okay.
This is like exactly what we have been asking for ages, which is the OCG style set design. Like, this is I cannot understate how large this is for the game in the TCG.
All right, I want to cover one last thing before we actually go into our full thoughts.
Yeah.
Impact. Okay, so this product, every card listed in this product was also in the OCG Rarity Collection, which came out like earlier this year, last year, year before, sometime. Like I think it was earlier this year or last year.
Yeah.
And the OCG Rarity Collection had 80 cards. This set has 79 cards. There is 1 card in the OCG Rarity Collection that is currently banned in the TCG, and that is Max C. So, hear me out. This is the running theory. This is what everyone is assuming. And I'm just going to be honest. We do not have a full set list. This is not confirmed. This is pure speculation. But they're both called Rarity Collection. They're both giving cards in all the same rarities that they were available in the OCG. This one's 79. The other one was 80. The difference would be Max C. Everything checks out to make a ton of sense. So with that said, I'm going to rattle through the list of cards really fast. And you can stop me if anything particularly notable comes up. I have one or two that I'm going to mention, but I'm just going to rattle. I'm a power through.
Yeah, I have one or two that I'll stop you at for sure.
Okay. This is the OCG list. And again, Maxi is going to be on here. I'll mention it when we get there. But all right. In alphabetical order for monsters, then spells, then traps. Alpha, Master of Beasts. Artifact Lancia. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Blackwing Simoon, the Poison Wind. Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay. Danger Jackalope. Dimension Shifter. Dogmatica Ecclesia. Effect Veiler, which will be one of the chase cards, I presume. Eldritch the Golden Lord. Eldritch the Golden Lord again, but a different rarity? A different art?
So I do want to make a comment here is that I believe there are 2 cards in this set that are available in alt arts. One of them is Eldritch the Golden Lord, and I can't remember what the other one is. It's possible that they forgot to put it on here. The alternate art Eldritch.
It might be
it's Nightmare Unicorn. That's the one. The Ghost Spell alt art is not in here. Unicorn is the other alt art card. If the set design matches the OCG, then the alternate arts will only be available in the ultimate rare and the collector's rare rarity. They will not be available in the other rarities. So we don't know.
I see that, but they did very specifically say every card is available in every rarity.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, take all this with a grain of salt, because
I see.
Because if they are saying that, and then the Eldritch, like the alt art thing is the case, then maybe the set has changed in some way. So that's just something to put out there.
Okay, after the 2 Eldritches, you have Fairy Tale Luna, Fallen of Albaz, a Galaxy Eyes monster. I don't know which one this is.
It's Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon.
Okay. I knew it was a G, and I knew it was Galaxy Eyes, but I couldn't quite pin down which one it was. I don't know them that well.
Oh, it might not be Soul Flare Dragon.
It's a Galaxy Eyes monster.
It is a Galaxy Eyes monster. Sorry, Jay. I missed it.
Yeah. Then we have Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, Inspector Border, unfortunately, Lava Golem, I guess, sure. Lone Fire Blossom, which will be another chase card because it's for Edison and plain synchro format. It's for old formats and stuff, essentially. Yep. Then you have Max C, which again probably won't be in ours because it's banned. Nibiru, the Primal Being, the Iris Sword Soul, which is a weird pick, but whatever. Then you have a Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere Mode, which really needed a reprint.
This really badly needed one. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Tour Guide from the Underworld, amazing pick. That's going to be a collector card. Then you have Vision Hero Varus. Is that the one it is?
Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris. And then Win the Wind
Channeler.
Okay, the effect monster. Cyber Angel, Ben 10, Called by the Grave, Change of Heart, Chaos Space, Dark Ruler No More, Forbidden Droplet, Fossil Dig.
I would like to make a quick point about Fossil Dig is that I get to expand the Dino collection now because there are now going to be 3 more high rarity prints of Fossil Dig for me to get.
True.
So very, very, very excited for the for the ulti Fossil Digs. But anyway, continue.
Lightning Storm, Magicalized Fusion. I can't zoom in to see what part. Magician Salvation.
Yeah, it's the Dark Magician Field
Spell.
Yeah.
Nadir Servant, Pot of Desires, Pot of Extravagance, Pot of Prosperity, Pre-Preparation of Rites. Yeah. Pre-Preparation of Rites, Reasoning, Rhoda, Small World, Spellbook of Judgment, Triple Tactics Talent. The spell card section is so ridiculously loaded. It's so loaded.
It's so sick.
Yeah. The trap cards are Compulsory Evacuation Device, Dimensional Barrier, Dogmatica, Punishment, Evenly Matched, Harpy's Featherstorm. I don't know what that is. Ice Barrier.
It's Ice Barrier.
Ice Barrier. Ice Dragon's Prison, Infinite Impermanence, Shadal Schism, Summon Limit, and Tri-Brigade Revolt, I think.
Yep,
right?
That's Revolt.
Okay.
Yep. You should know that.
Also fairly loaded. It's been a while, okay? Give me some time. All right, your extra deck monsters are... okay, here we go.
Do you need some help with this one?
Listen, they're really small, and I'm trying my best. It's not letting me zoom on Discord, but I want to try.
I can. Okay, yeah.
I want to try. Egyptian God Slime, Elder Entity Intis, Master Hero Darklaw, Mud Dragon of the Swamp?
Yep.
I get it mixed up.
You got it.
Predaplant Dragostapelia?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Ancient Fairy Dragon, Baron de Fleur, Borreload Savage Dragon, Herald of the Arclight, Junk Speeder?
Yep, Junk Speeder.
Cool. Downward Magician, a Galaxy Eyes monster?
Yeah, it's the 4K attack guy. It's like Neo Galaxy, whatever.
Okay, yeah, ridiculous name.
Yeah.
I don't know what this one is. This next one.
It is Ghost Trick, Angel of Mischief.
Sure. Number 100 Numeron Dragon, Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon?
Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Close.
Flare Metal,
you got
sure.
it. Yeah. Yep.
Dingirsu Time Thief Redoer? Is that it?
Redoer. Yep.
Yeah. Artemis the Magistus Moon Maiden, I think.
Yep.
Cherubini. This is Link Talker Inverted, Decode Talker Inverted, or something like that.
It's Code Talker Inverted.
Code Talker Inverted, then Decode Talker Heat Soul, I think is the next one.
Yep, Heat Soul.
Then Nightmare Unicorn, Crusadia Avramax, which needed a reprint.
Yep. Avramax didn't really need a reprint. It has 2 more cheap printings now, but having another high rarity option is nice.
A Selene, the Link 3 Selene
Selene needed a reprint.
Yeah, Selene needed a reprint. Selene, Queen of the Spellcasters or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, yep.
And then Striker Dragon. So, listen. This set is loaded top to bottom. It's ridiculous. The debate is whether or not it's as good as Dude or not. I think that overall, this is a much better set than Dude.
This is such a... I think we were talking about this earlier. I think the argument is... I'm going to talk about this in Canadian dollars because it just makes more sense for me to do. Dude up here on release was like 50 Canadian, something like that. So if we were to get 3 things of Dude to get play sets of all of these cards, it would be $150. 2 boxes of this would run between 160 Canadian if you get it early, or probably more likely 180 Canadian closer to release. So like a $10 to $30 difference in price. With Dude, if you buy 3, you're guaranteed to get 3 of those cards, but some of the cards were like really not that great. If you buy 2 boxes of this set, you're very likely to get playsets of all of these cards, and you're like almost guaranteed to get some higher value collectible like items. You're going to get some cool stuff. So for like a marginal cost increase, you are probably getting playsets of all these cards, and you are getting cool collector stuff that probably will have more value than the difference in price between Dude. To be frank with you, so Dude is like this card has this deck frankly has more like staple hand traps than Dude did, if we're being real.
Yeah. Okay. So I have the Dude like card list pulled up. You have all the Ghost Girls. So Ghost Ogre, Ghost Reaper, Ash Blossom, Ghost Belle, Ghost Sister, and Red Blossoms from Underroot. All of which were like really sick reprints at the time. I mean, Ash Blossom was like super expensive. And for them to be guaranteed reprints, it wasn't really appreciated at the time, but it's really sick. And then you have like Crow and Valor and Lancia.
Yep.
And that's it as far as hand drops, which most of those are here. You don't have Crow specifically, but honestly, Crow could get thrown in here as like a replacement for like 1 card here or there and be fine. Although they could be saving Crow, to be honest with you. They could be saving Crow high rarity reprint for something else.
I could see that. And so it's interesting because I think this is a good lead into the other big conversation with this set is the effect on the secondary market and the effect on collectors as a whole. So DD Crow is a card that has a Starlight that is not in this set. There are a lot of cards in here that have Starlights and Altis that are in this set. Effect Valor has a Starlight print, and now there are 3 other high rarity slots that are going to compete with both the Starlight and the Ultimate Rare. Ghost Belle has a Starlight, and it is now competing with 3 other versions of that card. The OG Secret Rare Eldritch will probably tank in price if we're being real. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's gonna have another Secret Rare printing now.
And the thing is, all of these cards are available at the super slot. So like, they're gonna, and because they're available in like every single rarity, you have crazy. Now short prints are a thing. We don't know if there's gonna be short prints. I imagine there will be, but like, because this is a side set, right? Ideally, there won't be.
If you buy 2 boxes, you won't get you might get a play set of every card, but you probably won't get them in matching rarities. Which I mean, you trade around. You're gonna pull probably at least one or two quarter century secrets and one or two of each of the high rarities. So
there is absolutely no way that this is not like one of the most open sets of all time. Like, I would not be shocked if more of this got opened than the Megatins. Like,
I don't think it'll be close. I think this will be maybe the best selling product of all time in the TCG. And I personally, I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not kidding. When I go to nationals this year, my goal is to sell as much of my collection as possible that I reasonably would want to get rid of. Right? I'm not gonna sell just stuff I have no intention of ever getting rid of now. But I'm gonna go to the vendor tables. That's where I intend on doing my selling. Don't think I'm gonna go around selling to people. At the vendor tables. My plan is to go directly to the side deck as soon as I get there, because they're awesome and I love the side deck. You should absolutely, if you're going to nationals, vend with the side deck. They're amazing. Not a sponsor, but yeah. I plan on moving most of my high rarity stuff. I have secret ash blossoms. I'm probably going to be moving them. I have collector rare desires. I'm probably going to move them. Everything that I have I have high end stuff for old formats. I'm probably going to move a lot of it just because I'm probably going to try to buy 5 or 6 cases of this product. It's that good of a product. If you can get them for a good price early, if you can get them for $700 for a case and you can afford to go in on several cases, you should really do it. If you're at all interested in opening this set and getting high rarity stuff. I'm not saying everybody can just whale out on a bunch of cases of this, but if you're in the position and you even if you're just getting back into the game and you have a bunch of cards you need, when this set comes out, you should try to buy 2 or 3 boxes of this set, because realistically, you pull a handful of quarter centuries, a handful of collectors, a handful of ultis.
Yeah.
Even the low end stuff in this set's probably going to be $15 or $20.
Plus, even some of the higher rarity stuff too, the reprints will be dirt cheap. So even if you're not somebody who wants to buy a sealed product, the super rare singles for these cards will probably be super affordable. It's obviously it's a big-ish set, but it's a full booster box. It's not any bigger than a core set, and all the cards being available at every rarity means you've got you basically have an even chance to snag everything if there aren't short prints, right? I will say a ton of people, there's a mass exodus in the Starlight rare market, I think. And I think people started getting nervous around the 25th anniversary reveals with those prints. But this just opened the floodgates. I'm seeing in a lot of the Canadian buy and sell trade Facebook groups, people are listing all of their high rarity stuff. It's people are posting
even worse than Starlights. There's actually things that are a lot worse than Starlights right now.
That would
collector's
be
rares.
Because why would you want an old collector's rare if you could have the new one? From the OCG style, there's for example,
they're better.
I'm thinking of cards that are available in collectors. Lightning Storm and Fossil Dig. Triple Tack as a collector's, I think.
Baron de Fleur.
Baron, yeah.
Baron was close to $300 at one point. It was sitting in early to mid-April. It was sitting at $280. Barons right now are sitting at $180.
Yeah, well, Nibiru, ulti Nibirus, ulti droplets, ulti imperms, it's going to be interesting to decide, to see. I think the other interesting conversation is what becomes max rarity now. With imperm, is it the OTS pack ultimate rares? Is it going to be the collector's rare? Is it going to be the quarter century? Is it going to be the collectors?
Okay, Nibiru market price a month ago was $177. Nibirus are currently listed at $147.
Yeah, and that's just this is also, so note that those are going down. This set doesn't come out until November. It doesn't come out for another 5 months, and people are already trying to unload their stuff. So I would honestly, unless it's something that's not in the set that you really want, I would just not buy high rarity stuff right now.
Even what is quote unquote max rarity Ash Blossom. Think about it like this: Maximum Crisis Ash Blossoms have been max rarity for like 5 years or more.
Yeah,
Like a long time. Like the unlims are like $35.
They have been hesitant to print an Ulti Ash, and I wonder if this is why. If they were waiting for this.
Well, listen, they haven't wanted to print an Ulti Ash for a long time, and now you're looking at having an Ulti, a Collectors, and a Starlight.
And hey, no, wait. You could also get it in Platinum Rare.
Literally.
Actually, low key, I kind of want to get one of every flat rare. I think that would be a fun collection, honestly.
It would admittedly be a very fun collection. There's one last card that I want to touch on from I don't want to say a market watch standpoint, but like just so that people like understand what's happening with the Starlight market right now. This is a card that is not in this set. This is a card that, okay, February of this year, Starlight IP Masquerena was $1,700 market price. Okay, by March it had dropped. It settled to $1,500. Right now, you can buy a Starlight IP Masquerena on TCG Player. Let's just say a light play first ed is $1,000. A near mint first ed is $1,100. Because the 25th anniversary secret rare, which is basically the same thing as far as I'm concerned, is currently pre-selling at $300. The Starlight market is crashing, and it's crashing hard. And people that have invested heavy in the Starlight market are feeling the effects of it. Now, there is one last thing to point out in this set, which is that some of the cards present in this set are pretty damning as far as I'm concerned, because if they are in this set, that means they are not getting banned for a long time, which is Dimensional Barrier and Harpy's Featherstorm. Now, what is not in this set is Eradicator Epidemic Virus, which has been the source of some Twitter controversy this week.
Pew, 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 pew. Yeah,
that's my transition. I was so proud of Skyhawk.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. Was the guess what's not on here? We don't have too much time to talk about this, so we can do it quick. But obviously the finals match is what kind of sparked the conversation. There's also an excellent Joshua Schmidt video making the argument that like EEV is not really the biggest problem here. Sure. So that's definitely something you can watch for. I think I agree that the other continuous trap floodgates and stuff like Deep Area and Featherstorm are actually probably worse than Eradicator. Eradicator doesn't always win you the game, but I think a card like Eradicator that blows out normal spells probably just should not exist. Like, when the counterplay to normal trap cards just does not exist in the same way that it does for other types of cards, I think we probably have to ban the cards that cause the most problems at that slot, like we have with every other card. I think it's got to go. But I understand the argument that we have to, if we're going to do that, we also need to kind of rein in the back row hate, and I am absolutely on board with that trade-off.
My thing is that I'm fine with cards like Lightning Storm being like semi-limited, Duster being limited, things like that. But effectively, those cards don't have any counterplay to cards like EEV. In fact, EEV literally cancels out those cards. I think that you have to have counterplay to either you have counterplay to cards like D-Barrier, Featherstorm, and Erad, or they are banned. To me, there's no in between. And anything short of those cards being banned or Reboot coming to 3, to me, is an egregious oversight by the Konami R&D department in understanding just how cancer these cards are as unrespondable, lingering floodgates. It's the exact same issue that we have with D-Shifter, with Gamma being at 1. When you cannot respond to these lingering floodgates that immediately impact the duel in an insane way.
I have some bad news for you about what you just said. I just realized this too. Dimension Shifter is also in this set. Yeah.
So now, in theory, if D-Barrier, D-Shifter, and Featherstorm are all in this set, then not going to get banned. But that means Reboot's coming back and Gamma's coming back. So, we take the good with the bad.
There is no Droll in this set. So there is hope.
I really do think that all of those lingering floodgates should be banned. I'm fine with Reboot being banned, but they also need to go. But I also do not think that if Tikaboo, Rivalry, goes in, etc., those types of floodgates are still at 3. I do not think that cards like Lightning Storm need to be semi or even limited. I don't think that. I think that we still need to have blowout counterplay to these trap cards. Those trap cards resolving is a blowout. I need to have a way to respond in turn.
Yeah.
Also,
all
blowouts.
Not
even that
blowouts.
good.
Yeah,
Lightning Storm's not even that good.
I agree with the I agree with the all or nothing take there. It's kind of like the Max C take where it's like it's at 3 or it's at 0. It should be at 0. Where with this one, it's
Agreed.
with normal trap cards and counterplay to those, it's either all of them should exist or none of them should exist. Like having bits and pieces of them just makes for crappy situations in gameplay.
Yeah. If a pointer and dust shoot are banned, then I think that because they're unrespondable and they immediately win the game, then I think that cards like Erad and cards like D-Barrier and cards like Featherstorm should also be banned because they immediately win the game and there is no counterplay if you are going second. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I think if we do that, and when we add the floodgates, there then becomes a case to be like, okay, does Duster really need to be legal? Like, I think we do if we decide to go the route of banning all of them, we do have to have that conversation. But
yeah,
I think
listen, of course, if you go out and you ban all those like continuous floodgates, yeah, sure, there's absolutely an argument to be made for limiting or banning Duster and even Lightning Storm, but with all these cards running around at 3, Lightning Storm should be at 3, not 2. And I'm just going to be honest, if you insist on having D-Barrier, Erad, and Featherstorm, you need to give me Reboot at 3. I'm serious. I want Reboot at 3. Either that or the lingering floodgates that are unrespondable need to go. Especially considering they are searchable and can be activated immediately with the new Labyrinth cards. They need to go.
Speaking of a reboot, I'm rebooting this podcast. Can we read some patron names? I gotta go.
Yeah. Let's hit the patron names before we run out of time.
Let's go.
So, of course, we want to take and thank all of our patrons. So, a huge thank you to Kane Martin, Zyphorus, Big Stinky, Broken Boy 13, Ding Dongs, hostess of the Yang Zing, Earth Machine Best Deck. Has anyone actually read Toy Vendor, HH Cyber? I used to play Rogue, but then my mom got a job. Is Canada and Nickelback, John Lil, Mountain Man, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, Seta Guaiba, Silver Hope. There is only one rule. Pop the baby. Unbanned number 95. Konami. Understanding and reading are two different things. Virtually Savior's World. You touch my talala, my ding dang long. Aaron Gardner, Asami, Ashlish Taps, Atsuyo, Simp at the Silver Castle, Blackwing Silver in the Ascent is the best floodgate. Boxwine. Come on and get your game on. Duty Booty, Dragon Maidenless Behavior. I'm about to regrow Glamour Troop across these plant nuts in your mouth. Old Man Red Pin Code 143, Sakitama, Aratama, Nikitama, Cam Obama, Slaking It Up, and Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Heavy Samurai. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. If you want to get that extra episode every week, be sure to check out our $5 and up tier. And I know what you're saying. Those that have been in the $10 tier before, you're like, don't join the $10 tier, though, because they never live stream. Joke's on you. One of us has a real computer now that can handle live streaming, and we're about to start doing that junk.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
We are actually going to start fulfilling our $10 patron things that we're actually going to start doing that for once.
Wow.
So if you want to get a live stream once a month or so, do that. My video's gone. So thank you all so much for joining us on today's episode. Have a great week, everyone.
Collector's Rare Fossil Dig and Ultimate Rare Fossil Dig and Platinum Rare.